Hello, welcome to the sideboard here at the StarCityGames.com Modern Open in Charlotte, part of the SCGCHAR, brought to you by Ultimate Guard. I'm Nick Miller alongside Player Spotlight feature here with Brad Nelson.
I mean, we just talked 2 weeks ago. Do we really need to do this?
A couple weeks ago in an interview, you were a little flustered then. You were
Yeah,
a little kind of
tired.
excited, tired.
Yeah.
But now you've had some time to reflect in between winning another tournament.
Yep.
You know, talk about how life has been the last couple of weeks.
It's been good. You never think you're going to win 2 tournaments in a row, and even as I was going through the GP and just win after win, it didn't really sink in until I was like locked for top 8, because I've had like 2 years where I keep going really deep in GPs and something happens to where I don't make it. So it was 2 years in the making to finally get another GP top 8, but it was a lot of fun to go back to back.
Not only that, but you got another Grand Prix win, which
Yes.
is pretty nice, and in a format that you kind of specialize in, Standard. Everyone, you know, when they think of Standard, they think of your name, but you really put on a show in Omaha with your build of the Aetherworks Marvel deck.
Yeah, ever since, like, I would say like Theros and Khans rotated out, I haven't really had that much maneuverability in Standard to like deviate from the norm and play unique strategies or unique cards. And so it was refreshing to finally get to play a piece of tech in a tournament that was just primed for it. And that was Uvenwold Hydra, for anyone that didn't know. We played that in our sideboard, and everyone in the tournament, their strategy against Marvel was either Ceremonious Rejection, Negate, or Dispossess. And we were able to just turn into a mid-range deck with trackers, Uvenwold Hydras, and just go over the top and naturally cast Ulamog. It was refreshing to finally be able to do that again.
Right, something you've done for so long in metagames where you know it's kind of hammer down what's going on. You always kind of come with the 1 or 2 pieces that really open it up, and I think it really showed in Omaha. You and Paul, I think, both had the Hydras, correct?
Yeah, we both
had
Hydras.
Both, you know, crushed the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the only loss that we had, that we shared in the top 8 was to ourselves. Like, I played him in top 4, and I got the die roll and a little bit higher, like a better variance than he did. But that's the story. I felt like either one of us was going to win that tournament.
Once you're in the top 8 of that event, you know, because you were able to double draw in. You're thinking, all right, I've already won 1 tournament last weekend. You know, you came into this weekend thinking, you know, platinum on the horizon. You already had that locked up at that point. How were you thinking?
Well, it's hard not to want to win, mostly because a finals finish probably guarantees me Worlds, a slot in Worlds, but I don't like to let that, you know, distract me. A lot of people are like, why didn't you go for the 15-0 and then the 18-0? And I truly believe in decision fatigue. I personally saw it in Baltimore 2 weeks ago when in the top 8 I played really slow. There's talk of me getting a game loss for slow play, and I would have accepted it because I couldn't make decisions anymore. I had a really tough tournament making all these decisions with Grixis Death Shadow for the first time, and I didn't want that to happen in the GP, so I would much rather take my 2 draws, get into top 8, and at that point I like to shut my brain down. I don't like to think about it. A lot of people talk about like, what do you need for top 8, or what if you win? I kind of just want to play the best Magic I possibly can and hope that's good enough.
Clearly was possible.
Yep.
You did very well. 2 events, you know, you locked up all the stuff you wanted to lock up. You know,
I opened a door for another thing that I didn't even think about, which is winning the Captain America seat. What
do you have to do to get that?
Beat Reed Duke. Just straight up. I have to have more points than him. And Owen's on our tail. Right now I'm sandwiched between Reed, who's got 2 more points than me, and I think Owen, who has 2 or 3 less points than me. And it's gonna come down to the last Pro Tour, and that's the Shark's Den, really, you know, or Lion's Den, I guess.
Sure.
Shark's Den, but
they don't have a lot of dens.
Yeah. It's going to be tough, but I'm capable of, you know, putting on some good performances, and I'm not going to get my hopes up. My girlfriend wants me to go to Vegas just to try to get the captain spot, but I might take the weekend off. Right. It's been a long, you know, 2 months of just tournament after tournament.
Right, you almost didn't go to Baltimore because you said you wanted to have a break between the tournaments that were coming up because you were probably playing
She sent me there.
The Vegas Grand Prix.
Friday at 2 p.m. She was like, you should just go with Ross and Todd, go play the tournament, and I was like, all right.
So what's this week leading up to this tournament been like? Gotta be pretty relieved, right?
Oh yes, there was not much testing. I had Thursday, I was like, all right, Thursday is gonna be my test day. And in about 11 hours throughout the day, I played 5 matches, and I watched Todd Stevens stream for about 4 hours. That was mostly my day. It was very lazy, and I liked it. When you're on a winner's high, I'm not going to lie, when you're on it, it's really hard to get motivated to keep play testing. And I also like the deck. I know it. I like playing Modern. I just couldn't get myself to do that grind again. I had a lazy week. It was nice. I got my content done, and I just hung out, had some good nights of just watching movies. And
so you're 4-2 in this event as of this
I should have tested.
Your first loss coming immediately off the 2 buys to the just wild through the breach dubious challenge deck.
On the Star City Games Tour, anything's possible.
What's coming up now? So you did what you needed to do, lock up Platinum, Worlds, all that kind of stuff. You have the option to go to Vegas or not, and then what, a couple weeks off?
I'm going to take a couple weeks off. I really want to win the Invitational. I'm going to be playtesting pretty hard for that, which is why I want to take a couple weeks break. Going to Vegas seems fun to play multiple GPs in one weekend, but and then there's a team GP, but I'm skipping all of that since I can only really slightly gain on points unless I win tournaments. And you can make all the jokes you want, but I can't bank on that. But the Invitational's coming up. It's the first big one in Roanoke. I want to win it, so I'm going to be testing hard for that. And then right after that, it starts Pro Tour testing. And so Team Genesis is in second place right now. We're really hoping to get there and compete at Worlds. And I'm hoping a lot of my teammates also do well enough to get qualified for individual. So my sights after the Invitational are all on Team Genesis, trying to get as many of us into Worlds as possible, both team and individual. And then after that, the new season starts, and it's always a blank canvas. You never know what's going to happen. But that's what I've got right now.
All right, wrapping up, talk about Team Genesis real quick. The members, again, refresh everyone who's on there. I know Lucas just won a Grand Prix the same weekend you did, and the things your team has to do what you just mentioned.
I mean, Martin Dang was supposed to go to the other GP, but he didn't. I don't know.
Could have had a 3 for 3?
Yeah, it was a punt. I don't know. We might have to kick him off for just not going. But the team is myself, Seth Manfield, Michael Majors, Lucas Blohan, Martin Dang, and Martin Mueller. So we're very much 3 Europeans, 3 Americans, and then we have our testers as well, and a couple Americans, a couple Europeans, including like my brother. And so we're about a 10-person team, and we formed it to have a shot at winning this thing. But it was also like we wanted to be enjoyable for testing. Like, you can build a team that on paper crushes the team competition and gets to Worlds, but you don't want things to not mesh well. If people aren't meshing well, if people aren't investing in each other, if you're not having fun, the team's going to feel more like work or prison than it is fun, enjoyable Magic. So we really wanted to make sure everyone we'll treat each other with respect, and that's exactly what happens. We have so much fun together. We're found at the end of tournament on Sunday. We're just all at a bar, hanging out, doing team drafts instead of splitting up. Mm-hmm. That's all we do is just the 9 of us hung out all day in Dublin, which to me is one of my favorite moments. And because after spending 2 weeks with some people, you kind of get sick of them, but we don't. And there's just a lot of respect and love on this team. I'm getting emotional. I really like Team Genesis, and we've had a whole lot of fun, and I'm hoping that we can stick together for next season. I don't see any cuts that anyone would make. It's just a really good group of guys, and we all have fun together. All
right, well, you put on a great show the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You've got a couple more events here, the rest of the year for the pros and all that. And you got an invitational coming up, and we've seen your track record at those events. So.
You see my track record when I work hard, and I'm gonna be working really hard for this tournament. I want it bad. I want to win this tournament. It's the first time. I mean, they boosted that money, and I really want to take a big chunk out of it. So
you don't even have to leave your own house.
Yeah, I don't have to leave Roanoke. It's going to be great. I love playing in big tournaments where I can sleep in my own bed. It's going to be fun, and a lot of people are coming to town. And Pete did a really good job about making a lot of fun before and after, just not Magic related activities for everyone. So I'm excited to see what happens.
All right, Brad, well, thanks for joining me here in the sideboard. Stay tuned to StarCityGames.com all weekend long for the action here in Charlotte.
Hopefully I'm in it.